Greetings, humans! Zbot4096 here with a quick, spoiler-free review of Beetlejuice! I only said it twice. Which releases in theaters today, September 26, 2024. There's a lot of positive buzz in the human echo chamber at the moment, but to be fair, the film is somewhat middling. Let us explain. First, we understand the positivity. Oh, Michael Keaton is perfect as the titular clownish, profane ghoul, just as he was in the original Beetlejuice. This combination of Keaton and Tim Burton's direction does in fact deliver again, somehow being both scary and quite funny at the same time. And while he is the title character, the emotional heart of this film is again Winona Ryder's Lydia Dietz, who, like all of us 1980s weirdos, we count ourselves in this group for obvious reasons, we are now trying to reconcile our own weirdness with today's predicaments, including attempting to relate to the current generation of weirdos. Speaking of which, Jenna Ortega, fresh from her success on Wednesday, and really her success every day, plays Lydia's daughter Astrid to pitch perfection. The writing team of Alfred Gough and Miles Millar is new, and in some ways, like with Astrid's character, really they get the current generation's sense of disconnection and angst. Astrid comes across as both relatable and very familiar, if one happens to know any teenage humans. And on top of that, the expansion of the world of the undead is really fascinating and well done. Some amazing puns are unleashed on the audience that are so perfect that it's strange they were not in the original. Of course, things do occur after the fact, such as the Imperial March from The Empire Strikes Back, and there are several brilliant moments of world building in this film that make one smile. For example, a particularly 1970s themed type of transport is primarily what we're thinking of here. We're not going to spoil the detail. It had us laughing out loud in the theater, as did the mention of a particular human airport passenger characterization. Again, we won't elaborate further from there. But for those of you who have seen the film, you know what we're talking about. Even better, it all looks great. Nothing looks CG, it all looks practical or stop motion, just like the original film, just with a budget and scope of effects that were simply not possible in 1988 when the original was released. So then why did we foreshadow some funky vibes about the film? Why can't we just sit here and enjoy it? Well, two reasons. One, we have a new laser ruler with which to measure the necroposting of bringing out a sequel to a movie 35 years later. And that is Top Gun Maverick. That film was an action masterpiece, but also a roadmap on how to do a sequel 30-something years later. You write a story with high stakes that brings together the classic and next-generation characters to work together and sincerely present them in an authentic way that respects the growth to date and the growth that is ongoing. That film feels real because it reminds us of Maverick's arc from the original film, the impact of Goose and what the repercussions are in his own life and Goose's son's life. This film managed to supersede the original film in quality and impact. Now, that is admittedly a high bar, but the original Beetlejuice presents a high bar as well. That's item 2. The original Beetlejuice film was goofy and macabre and reflected Tim Burton's sensibilities and magically brought to life through the relationship between the quirky, recently deceased Maitlands and the goth kid Lydia who moved into their house. They are like Ripley and Newt in finding a bond here that is the real heart of the film, even if the title of the film says someone or something else is the main character. Now, this film, Beetlejuice, in contrast, fires numerous proton torpedoes at that exhaust port, but sadly they all merely impact on the surface. None of them go in. There's an amazing, riveting introduction from Monica Bellucci's character that held our sensor stapled open, but she really doesn't do anything interesting after that. Willem Dafoe has a similar delightful reveal, but also settles in to be just another jigsaw piece for the film. Their madcap romps in the afterlife are fun to watch, but sadly, their human counterparts are often the opposite of fun to watch. Justin Theroux plays a thoroughly pathetic character, and essentially every scene he has dialogue in makes one cringe. And, look at the time. Even Beetlejuice himself misses the mark sometimes. For example, there's a big scene that ties into a popular song, but unlike the first film, it doesn't quite sync up correctly. And it's hard to make out the lyrics, which you are meant to hear and understand to get the jokes. You can see what the filmmakers were trying to do, but it just requires too much of the audience. At the same time, it's hard to tell where the film is going, but it soon becomes clear that all these mini-plots are meant to magically tie together at the end, like a balloon animal made by the clown at a toddler's birthday party. Well, a particularly fancy and expensive one, yes, but still nowhere near the pitch perfection of the original. And needless to say, the balloon animal comes off as somewhat forced. And for that reason, for getting our hopes up and being intermittently hilarious, and for Winona Ryder still being divine as ever, but lacking the beating, bloody heart of the original, Beetlejuice earns our mixed review. And so concludes this human version of our review. If you have feedback on it, please write in your own comments so that we can upload the galactic version to Zogplex. You can expect more discussions and reviews of theatrical movies, streaming shows, and 4K home video releases like, look what just got delivered to the space station here. A little early. So you may expect more of that as we continue to engage with your human rectangular content. So please watch, like, subscribe, and comment so that we can continue to have the human voice reflected in the cosmos. Until next time, farewell, humans.